everyone, Digital David here. Today in this video, I'm going to be checking out the Roborock Q8 Max Plus. Roborock did send me this sample, but any opinion expressed in this video is strictly my own. That being said, if you're interested in this product or you want to find out more about it, the link to it will be in the video description. So how does the Q8 stack up against the competition? We'll be comparing it not only to Roborock's brand lineup, but also compared to the average of over 40 vacuums that we've personally tested. The first metric we're going to look at is max suction power. This is measured in PAs. This has 5,500 PAs of suction power. That's above the brand average that we see from Roborock. The average is basically 5,200, and the overall average is only 3,800. So substantially higher in regards to suction power compared to your average vacuum out there on the market, and slightly higher than Roborock's very own lineup. Next up is CFM. So this result, we're showing CFM of 8.2. Typically the higher the better. This is going to be airflow through the vacuum cleaner. 8.2 is our score. That's 0.5 below the Roborock brand average, but a full point over the overall RoboVac average. And those first two metrics help us get a key indicator to our deep cleaning score. Again, if those are on the higher side, typically we'll see a higher and better result in our deep cleaning carpet test. The best score you can get is 100, and in this case we got a score of 95. That's going to be 5 points above Roborock's average of 90. You can see this is on the higher side of the deep cleaning, and our overall brand average is 85. So not bad. Compared to your typical RoboVac, we're 10 points higher in the deep cleaning. Moving right along, we have battery life. This is measured in minutes. The Q8 has a 240-minute battery life. Now keep in mind, results will vary depending on your home environment and the suction and cleaning settings that you have enabled. The brand average is 200 minutes. That's going to be on the higher side, as you see, by a whopping 50 minutes, but this vacuum is almost 100 minutes higher in runtime compared to the average. Moving right along, we have our bin capacity. This is measured in milliliters. The Q8 has a bin capacity of 470 milliliters. That's just 6 milliliters below Roborock's average of 476. I would actually say this has a larger bin capacity than your typical Roborock vacuum, because when they have self-emptying bases, you usually see a smaller bin capacity because it can just go empty itself. You typically find the larger bin capacities on non-self-empty versions because they need that bin larger, so you're making less trips to the trash can to empty your bin. So overall, our average across the board, that's vacuums with and without self-empty, is 422. So that's why you're seeing here that this is actually a larger bin, even if it's slightly smaller within Roborock's own lineup. Similar to dustbin, now let's talk about tank capacity. This is also measured in milliliters. This has a 350 milliliter capacity. That's pretty substantially higher than the typical Roborock average. That can fluctuate depending on if your vacuum is able to refill and clean itself or not. If that's the case, typically you'll find a smaller capacity tank. In our case, we can't, so they gave us a larger capacity, so we have to refill it less often, which is great to see. You don't want to see a 200 milliliter tank and it doesn't refill itself or anything like that. So it's great that we have 350. This is above the overall average that we're seeing of 234 milliliters. And again, that includes vacuums that do and don't refill themselves that support mopping. So again, pretty substantial water tank on this vacuum. Last but not least, let's talk about cost here. So at the time of this video, this vacuum comes in about $100 less than Roborock's brand average, which is great to see. Overall, though, compared to just the average RoboVac that we've reviewed, that's vacuums with and without self-emptying bases, mopping attachments, LiDAR navigation, self-washing, cleaning, all of that good stuff. You'll see we're a couple $100 more than that average. So where's that leave us with the Roborock Q8? Well, let me share with you my final thoughts after using this vacuum cleaner. So first thing you need to know if you're shopping for a RoboVac, it's essential to buy one if your budget allows that has LiDAR navigation, so you actually actually have a vacuum that's capable of navigating around your house, actually knowing where it has and hasn't cleaned. It unlocks a bunch of smart features, right? You can set no-go zones, no mop zones, things like that. But I think the best feature about this particular vacuum, out of all the vacuums we've reviewed that have this style of mop pad and module, not the dedicated spinning and scrubbing brushes, but just more of like your drip tank right here, this is the best mop I've ever used. Now let me tell you the biggest thing that needs to be improved with this vacuum, and that's going to be their object recognition. So for me, any small objects, pet waste, cords, this thing just trampled them and ran them over. So overall though, this is a really solid vacuum, especially if you're looking for that mopping capability. This would definitely be one you should consider.